This is section 3.4, part 3. Yes, 3 parts. So let's do example 2. We have a company makes T tape players and C CD players under the following constraints. Remember the constraints. Those are the system of inequalities that you have to graph. It says find the maximum profit if the company sells the tape players for 28 each. Whenever it says each or per, that means you got to multiply times a variable. And the CD players for $33 each. All right, so we have to graph all 3 of these inequalities. So I'm going to start with T is greater than or equal to 60. And remember, whichever one we talk about first, that's going to be the X axis, if you will, and the one that we talk about second is going to be the y-axis. So T is greater than or equal to 0. So my t-axis goes like this. That means my t greater than or equal to 0 has to go perpendicular to that. So let's look at a graph here. We have to have t greater than or equal to 60. So a vertical line at 60. Okay. And we need to do shading. Okay. So this is t has to be greater than or equal to 60. And if I do a test point of 0, 0, I'm going to plug in 0 and check to see if that is true or false. Is 0 greater than or equal to, is it larger than 60? And the answer to that is no. The point is over here. We said no, so that means I have to shade on the other side of the line. So I need to shade over here. Now remember, you're going to be shading for 3 different lines. That means you have to shade lightly. Shade lightly because you will be erasing. All right. Now I have C is greater than or equal to 100. This is my C axis. So C greater than or equal to 100 has to be perpendicular to that. So it's going to be a horizontal line. So C is going to be a horizontal line at 100, and it was greater than or equal to 100. C is greater than or equal to 100. Again, we are going to use 0, 0 as our test point. So we plug in 0 to see if that is true or false. It is false, so we have to shade on the opposite side from the point 0, 0. Now, we could shade over here, but I'm not going to because I already know there's no red there. That means I'm going to have to erase it eventually, so I might as well not even shade there. And since there's no green down here, I'm going to erase down here. Okay, so now I've done 2 of the lines. Let's do the third one. I have T plus C is less than or equal to 200. That is in standard form. Easiest way to graph in standard form is to do the XY chart, but since I have T's and C's, so the first time, for my first point, I'm going to plug in T equals 0. And when I'm finding points, I'm going to use equals. And I don't need the 0. So it gives me C equals 200. That gives me 1 point. To find the other point, I'm going to plug in 0 again, only this time I'm going to plug in 0 for C. Don't need the 0. I get T equals 200. So this will give me 2 points that I'm going to plot. So 0, 200, and 200, 0. It was, I don't remember, it was less than or equal to? Yes, less than or equal to, which means it's going to be a solid line. Test point is 0, 0. Plug in 0 for both the T and the C. Simplify the left. Is 0 smaller than 200? Yes, it is. So I have to shade in the same direction as my point 0, 0. And again, since I know that there's no shading down here, there's no shading down here, none over here, I would just have to erase this anyway, so I'm not even going to bother shading it. And this doesn't have the blue, so I'm going to erase this. Okay, so only the overlap of all three of the shadings, which gives me this triangular region right here. Now, with linear programming, we're only concerned with the vertices of the shaded region. Okay, so we need to figure out which equation is which. This was c is greater than or equal to 100. This was t is greater than or equal to 60. And this one was, what was this one? T plus c is less than or equal to 200. Okay. So to find this point, I need to figure out where this line and this line cross, which means I need to figure out where this equation and this equation intersect. Well, that one's kind of nice because I already know what the t is. T has to be 60, so I have t equals 60 and c equals 100. That comes from my equations here. So that point was kind of easy. Didn't have to spend a lot of time with that point. So that's one of them. That's the point 60, 100. Okay. So now we have to find this point. And that's c equals 100 and t plus c is equal to 200. Okay, so I have t, what did I say? I think I said that wrong. C is equal to 100. T plus c is equal to 200. I'm going to solve with substitution. And already I know what the c is going to be. So I'm going to substitute in for c and solve. And I get t is equal to 100. So this is the point 100, 100. Again, you cannot just eyeball it and say, I know what the answer is. Okay, you have to actually do it algebraically. And this point right here is where t equals 60 and t plus c equals 200. T is equal to 60, t plus c equals 200. So I know my t has to be 60. I don't know what my c is. I'm going to substitute 60 plus c is equal to 200. Subtract 60, and I get c equals 140. So this is the point 60, 140. And I already did this. Okay, 60, 100, 60, 140, and 100, 100. Okay, so we already found these. I just did it on the last slide. All right, so we're going to take these points, this one, and this one, and we are going to plug them into our objective function, which we probably have to write. We haven't written that yet. All right, so objective function. All right, so we have profit, so I'm going to call it P. 28 each for the tape players, so that's 28T. And the CD players are 33 each, so that's 33C. So this is my objective function. I'm going to plug those points into 28T plus 33C. 28T plus 33C. All right, my points. I don't remember my points. 6100, 6140. And 100, 100. So I'm going to take those points and I'm going to plug them into our objective function. So the first one I have P is equal to 28 times, we have 60, 33 times 100, and we have to figure out what that is equal to. So 28 times 49.80 will be our profit if we make 60 tape players and 100 CD players. The next one, profit 28 times 60, 33 times 140, gives us 6,300. Okay, and the last one, 100 and 100. So 28 times 100, 33 times 100, 6,100. We want a maximum. We want to maximize our profit. We always want more profit, not less. So the largest number over here is 6,300. And the point that got us there, 60 tape players and 140 CD players. So there you go. I think I managed to do this one in 13 minutes, not 16, which is kind of a bonus. I'm not going to do this problem, but I do want to mention there will be a problem like this on the semester exam, and it's going to be multiple choice. Okay. So buses, cars, buses, cars. Now, if you notice, we've got 4 points here. Okay. One of these answer choices, and I don't know which one, I'd have to take a look, but one of these answer choices is not going to be one of these 4 points. Okay, so check and make sure when you plug these numbers into your profit function, 8 buses plus 3 car, that you do not use a point like out here, right? Don't use this point right here. Make sure that the points that you check are actually one of these points on the shaded region. So if you look at 0, 60, that's this point right here. So that one is a potential. You could check that one. You could use it. 1050, 1050 looks like it is this point right here, so that one is a potential. 20-0, yep, actually that one was right there. 20-0 and 30-30. 30-30 is right here. There you go. That's the point that you're not going to even try because it is not one of the points that is a vertex. Okay, so don't even bother plugging those into your objective function. So just cross that one out. So you can try 0, 60, you can try 10, 50, you can try 20, 0, but don't try 30, 30. Okay, it's not going to work. And guaranteed, they're going to try and trick you. This will give you the maximum profit, but it's going to give you the wrong answer because this point is not actually a point that is a vertex for our feasible region. It's out here. You cannot use that point right there. Okay? If you plug it in, it's going to give you the largest number, but it's going to give you the wrong answer. Okay, so watch out for that when you do that on the semester exam. All right, finally, part 3. We are done with section 3.4.